Former McDonald's manager says never order this drink. So, a meal from McDonald's isn't complete without an ice cold drink. However, there's one beverage on the menu a former employee recommended customers stay away from. Once she learned how the nasty drink was made, she never indulged again. Former McDonald's employee Nicole Weiser shared her insider knowledge in a TikTok video that went viral on YouTube, part of a compilation of employee secrets. I was a manager at McDonald's, Weiser explained. I worked there for about 3 years. During her tenure, there were two 4-gallon jugs of tea on site, a red jug for sweet tea and a green jug for unsweetened tea. Until Weiser knew how the drinks were made, she would indulge in a cup of sweet tea on occasion. But that changed after her time at the chain. For every 4 gallons of the red jug, the sweet tea, there was a full 4 pound bag of sugar emptied into it. Weiser revealed 1 pound per gallon of tea. I stopped drinking the tea after I realized that, she confirmed. That's nasty. And the son reached out to McDonald's and requested more nutritional and ingredient information on the menu item. And in the comment section, viewers expressed a mix of horror at the sugar content in the drink and indifference towards the caloric and nutritional load. Knowing something is really sweet is different than knowing exactly how much sugar is in it, one viewer wrote. I barely drink soda now that I can actually picture the 9 teaspoons of sugar in a Coke. I worked there as a teen, and when I was taught how to make the sweet tea, I gagged, a fellow former employee added. Just stick to water regardless of where you are, another viewer advised. I drink a non water drink maybe like 2 times a month, if that. And some were incredulous that Weiser hadn't realized just how much sugar was in the drink to begin with. Could she not taste how sweet it was prior to learning the recipe? A critic asked. And here's the thing that people need to understand too, right? A lot of people do not pay attention to anything that they put into their body. So, if you're someone who already drinks like a 2 liter soda, or someone who already drinks a lot of soda or sugary drinks, and you end up drinking like a sweet tea, yeah, it's going to taste sweet, but not that much sweeter than what you're already drinking on the regular, right? So you got to keep that into perspective too. That's what we like about it. It's truly sweet tea. A viewer who grew up in the South wrote, tea like my grandma used to make for Sunday dinners. Just as sweet as any southern kitchen makes it, another agreed. And one viewer made a recommendation for tea lovers who are willing to compromise. If you don't like it, then mix half sweet, half unsweet, they suggested. And here's the main thing, right? I mean, technically speaking, yes, health wise, it is a horrendous drink, right? But if you know exactly how many calories it is and you factor that in into your daily caloric intake, you could technically maintain your body weight or even decrease your body weight over time by just keeping that in mind, right? But it's very hard to do that when you're just, getting a drink from McDonald's, right? And this is the thing, a lot of people need to stay away from fast food places. Not just because it's not actually the cheaper option, and it's not really even the faster option either, right? Because basically, if you were to go to a fast food place, like let's just say McDonald's nowadays, and you wanted to just get like a meal with a drink and fries and all that kind of stuff, right? One, the amount of food that you actually get is tiny. The amount of calories that you get from it is massive. We're talking like close to like 3,000 calories, right? Especially if you were to add into this sweet tea drink. So you're basically spending close to what, like $7 to $8 on a meal for 3,000 plus calories, roughly, right? For something that doesn't even, it's not even really fast to get, because you also got to factor in how long you're going to be waiting in a very long line to simply get your food. So it's like you're spending more money to get a crazy amount of calories for something that is unhealthy, that is going to cause you to spend more money on health insurance, that is also going to basically potentially put you into the hospital long term, right? So, meaning that you're going to have more medical bills, more medical issues, all for a perceived view of convenience. Because, look, it's going to be a lot faster and a lot cheaper to simply make all this stuff at home, right? And not to mention, you could actually make your own sweet tea using like Splenda or like whatever sort of sugary replacement with the tea bag. And what do you know? Now you got sweet tea that's like 0 calories, right? So it's actually even sweeter, but 0 calories instead of potentially like 1,000 calories or who knows how much it is, right? So people just need to like factor this in. Like you think that like just getting like a drink from a fast food place is like okay, yeah, you know it's not gonna be the healthiest thing, but you don't really know the true costs of it. Like what people need to understand is that it's not just the fact that they put so much sugar into this drink, right? People could drink whatever they want to drink, right? But it's the fact that people don't pay attention to it, right? This is why I believe like the average weight of like a 20-year-old female in America is like 150 pounds for like a 20-year-old female, okay? That is horrendous. But that's because there's so many people going the fast food route when really it's not even the greatest option. It's probably one of the worst options that you could ever do because one, it costs more money. It's going to cost you more money long term, and it's just an issue. It is a medical issue, it is a financial issue, it is a habitual issue as well, and also it's a time wasting issue. Like think about how much time you're wasting just sitting in a line waiting for you to get your food, right? Like it's horrendous. You could end up spending like wasting like 20 minutes, 30 minutes in a line. Do you want to spend 20, 30 minutes of your life waiting in a line for a sweet tea? Now here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with like getting a sweet tea once in a while, right? But you got to keep in mind, a lot of people who go the fast food route do it out of habit. So you get like your morning coffee from like Starbucks, like a lot of people do, or you get like your morning breakfast from McDonald's, or your like on the way home meal from McDonald's or whatever fast food place, right? And you got to be like really, really careful with this because look, like there's nothing wrong technically with sweet tea. There's nothing wrong with tea. What's wrong is making it a habit of spending a lot of money on something with a lot of calories every single day, right? Because you gotta factor this in too. This isn't the only thing that people are putting into their body that day, right? Like if you were just drinking like one big sweet tea and then the rest of the day was very healthy, it's not that big of a deal, right? But you're probably going to the fast food place more than once per day. So you're spending $8 to $10 per meal, right? So what you're spending $20 to $30 per day on fast food that is extremely high in calories, causing you to be morbidly obese over a certain amount of time, causing your health insurance to go through the roof because now you're morbidly obese, you got bad blood pressure, you got a lot of fat on you. Now, guess what? Everything else is going to be more expensive because now you're going to have to pay for certain pills to lower your blood pressure. It's a very vicious cycle if you keep going to fast food and getting these things because people who go to fast food places typically do it out of habit. And that's the biggest issue is that a lot of people make this a habitual thing on like a daily basis, right? As like a personal example, I have a family member that I learned about that basically spends roughly, oh, they basically go to Starbucks every single day, Monday through Friday. And they get basically a big coffee latte thing, whatever it is, plus like a cookie or something. So they're spending like $8 per day in the morning just on that, not to mention any other thing that they get per day. So, that doesn't include her lunch, her dinner, or snacks. So we're talking easily like a $20 per day cost of running just from her habit of going to Starbucks every morning. Like that's hundreds of dollars a month. That's thousands of dollars a year for a coffee that you can make for yourself at home, right? It's just crazy when you really think about it. So people could just make very small changes and end up saving a lot of money, helping them to get out of debt, helping them to build up an emergency fund, helping them to get out of poverty because now they actually have some excess cash to actually go and do stuff with it, to get some sort of training to make more money. So feel free to give your thoughts. It's kind of scary when you think about that people spend a lot of money on these things every single day, and it's destroying their health. If you want to learn how to get out of debt and master your money, go to 40inbox.com.